I'm frankly astounded that you did not ask him about the bombing of the Iranian state TV station just a couple of hours ago, the mass murder of tea ladies, technicians, journalists and broadcasters. I can't believe that you didn't know about that. And indeed, Professor
Actually, I don't know
Morandi
about that. You've just told me that, so that's the answer to your question. I didn't know about it. I've been on air.
Well, you really need to be better briefed.
Well,
you're
okay,
interviewing a guy that you're punting.
You can have your views about that.
This is
in answer
very
to your
important.
question, I didn't know. So that's the answer to your question.
Well, you should have known.
Okay, well, you're a better journalist than me. You're a better broadcaster than me. I didn't know.
Professor Morandi was in that building. I don't know if he's dead, but the story is that he was in that building to do an interview with you, and I very much hope that that is not true. And I very much hope that he is still alive.
He told me that was true. He told me that he'd been told to leave, but had decided to stay and do the interview, in which all he did was call me a liar, a coward, and a genocide enabler.
So you did know about the bombing of the Iranian TV station?
There was no bombing going on when I interviewed him, obviously, or I would have stopped the interview.
Piers, there's mass casualties.
Yes, George.
In the Iranian
you asked me
TV
if I knew
station.
it was going on when I interviewed him. I didn't.
Well, it's a disgrace that you did not know.
Well, I didn't, or I would have stopped.
Because you might have been able to ask.
If I'd known, I would have stopped the interview, obviously.
One thing you did know is that Israel has scores, if not hundreds, of nuclear weapons. And you did not mention it. Why is Israel allowed illegally to hold scores, if not hundreds, of nuclear weapons in defiance of the law, uninspected by any agency in Dimona? And reports today from Dimona are that they are currently modernizing their nuclear fleet. Don't you think that would have put in a better perspective this issue of nuclear weapons? The reason I know you know it is because the brave Jewish whistleblower Mordechai Vanunu, who blew the whistle on Israel's nuclear weapons, came first to the Daily Mirror and was betrayed by your enemy and mine, Robert Maxwell, to the Mossad, and then spent 22 years in prison in solitary confinement, and turned up in the courtroom with his jaws wired together like Hannibal Lecter, so he couldn't tell the courtroom what he'd told the Daily Mirror. So this issue of nuclear weapons, according to Tulsi Gabbard, Iran is not seeking to build a nuclear weapon.
Why would you believe them?
February.
Why would you believe them?
Well, I believe Tulsi Gabbard.
Why do you believe Iran?
No, I'm believing Tulsi Gabbard.
Given that the atomic
here.
agency,
I'll come on to Iran.
Given that the atomic agency,
why do you want to dodge Tulsi Gabbard? Does he appoint liars?
I'm asking you why you. I'm asking you why you trust the Iranian regime when they say they're not wanting to build a nuclear bomb.
Well, you're actually asking the wrong person for this reason. If I was running Iran, I would long ago have had a nuclear weapon because Israel has scores or hundreds of them, and as you've just heard, is determined to bring about regime change in Iran. So you won't get me to clutch my pearls about Iran having nuclear weapons.
Why wouldn't you want regime change in Iran out of interest, given what a draconian, repressive, despicable regime it is?
I have this old-fashioned view. You once had it also in relation to the country next door, Iraq, that the leadership in any country is the business of the people in that country. But if you've got a nuclear-armed superpower trying to change your regime, frankly, you're an idiot if you don't arm yourself to the maximum that you are capable of.
Do you want to see Iran arming itself with nuclear weapons?
Well, Israel's got hundreds.
No, I'm asking you about Iran.
You've just been talking about the slaughter of the innocent.
I'm asking you about Iran.
In Gaza. Well,
would you, George Galloway, it sounds to me like you, George Galloway, unlike the rest of the world, would like to see Iran arming itself with nuclear weapons, to which I say you've lost your marbles.
Piers, there you go again. Unlike the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Do you really think that you speak for the rest of the world? Iran is presently the hero of the vast majority of people in the world.
Oh, rubbish.
And it's
absolute rubbish.
That you can't see
that. What a load of absolute
Piers,
nonsense.
Take your eyes off the posterior of the tiny part of the world, which is the Western world.
You think that
Africa
currently
is with
most
Iran.
of the world, you think the rest of the world
America is with Iran.
You think the rest of the world
China is with Iran.
Yeah.
Russia is with Iran.
Russia, China.
All the Arabs are with Iran.
Russia, China,
Take
any
your
other
nose out of the ass
North Korea?
of the tiny number of people that you think are the world. They're not the world. The world is 8 billion people.
Right.
You're speaking for the little clique that leads a tiny fraction of fewer than 1 billion of the people of the world.
So just to be clear,
cannot see beyond the end of your nose.
As I suggested then, you want to put up as a defence for Iran that they're supported by China, Russia, did you mention North Korea?
That's a lot of people, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. But are they the kind of people, in terms of their own regimes, that we should be taking as good supporters of these benevolent people in Tehran?
You're living under Keir Starmer's regime, for God's sake. You're going to blame the British for Keir Starmer? The French are living under little Macron. When did you get the right to decide that 7/8 of the world's population cannot be considered valid because you, Piers Morgan, don't like their regimes? Listen, there's something else you didn't mention, and you must also have known about that. Unless you switch your mobile off at 10 o'clock at night, you already know that Iran is giving Israel a bloody good hiding every single night.
It's not, though, is it?
It's not, though, is it? You described it all as a wonderful military operation being conducted by Israel.
Let me answer you. As always, the Iranian regime has put out apocalyptic statements about this will be the annihilation of Israel and everything's like it did the last time. And you know what happened last time? Nothing. They fired a few rockets, Piers, and the dome dealt with them. This time they've got a few missiles have got through the dome. But the idea, hang on, let me finish my question. The idea that the Israeli Air Force have managed to inflict this kind of catastrophic damage on military commanders, nuclear scientists, nuclear sites, and all of this, and have control of the airwaves in Tehran. And the only response so far has been a few missiles that have got past the dome.
Missiles?
You say they've been pounding them. They don't be pounding
Have you seen
Israel.
Haifa?
They don't be pounding Israel.
You are astounded. This is something else you don't know. You didn't know about Marandi. You didn't know about the TV station.
I knew what Marandi told me.
I
knew what Marandi told me.
Israel.
I knew what Professor Marandi told me.
Just to be clear, you don't know about it.
Just to be
clear, I'll tell you who I believe.
Just to be clear
about belief.
Just to be clear,
I believe the mayor of Tel Aviv.
Sorry, if I may finish responding to you.
Can I quote an Israeli? I believe the mayor of Tel Aviv, a former director of intelligence in the Israeli army, now the elected mayor of Tel Aviv, who says this has got to stop. We cannot win this war. That's the mayor of Tel Aviv. I can believe him.
I see zero evidence. There is zero evidence that Israel can't win this war as things stand. Zero.
Well, most of it,
90% of the damage is being inflicted by Israel onto Iran.
Pure nonsense, Piers. Why are you
so deluded, George? Why is your pathological hatred of all things Israel made you so deluded?
Is this something else you don't know? Do you know that Tucker Carlson and Steve Bannon are right this minute on TV debating how if Trump gives in to Netanyahu's begging him to join in and save the day, that it will be the end of the Trump presidency, that it will split MAGA down the middle? Do you not know that either?
No, why would I know that? I've been on air. How would I know that?
Well, if you're really...
Why do you expect me to know things when I'm literally interviewing people like you?
I made the mistake, Piers, of thinking you were a well-informed man.
I am. But when I'm actually filming my show, it's quite hard to keep up with world events.
Don't you have someone that can pass you a note